Michael here with a huge week in LEGO news. 2026 sets from Star Wars and Marvel, plus Pirate Spider-Man, LEGO Ideas Italian Riviera. And are the summer Super Mario sets some of the best ever? And don't forget to check out the latest episode of my LEGO Masters recap podcast, TalkBricks Masters. This week I sit down with Season 2 winners Mark and Steven to break down the Is It Brick Challenge. And you can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more using the links below. And I'll kick off another round of the weekly giveaway. Just subscribe and leave a comment about this week's news. And of course, I'm back with LEGO deals from Amazon and across the web, so if you want to pick anything up to support the channel, there's links in the description below. First at Amazon, the LEGO Boutique Hotel is 23% off. The Dune Atreides Royal Ornithopter is 20% off, and the Fountain Garden is 36% off. From LEGO Fortnite, the Durr Burger is 27% off, and from LEGO Harry Potter, the Hogwarts Express and Hogsmeade Station is 32% off. Over at LEGO, there's a bunch of sets on sale, including the Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder, and the TIE Fighter and X-Wing mashup for 30% off. The Boarding the Tantive 4 is 25% off. The LEGO Message Board, Ninjago Tournament Battle Arena, and Batman Construction Figure and Batpod are all 30% off. And even more great sets 30% off or more. So if you want to pick up any of these deals and more and support the channel, there's links to everything in the description below. Next up, we've got 2026 Star Wars news with us returning back to the Mandalorian, as we'll be getting a Mando and Grogu speeder bike for $10. We last saw our duo on this speeder bike in the Trouble on Tatooine set, and it's pretty impressive to see them returning to sets from Season 2. And I'd assume the build will be similar at only 58 pieces with minifigures for Mando and Grogu. And from that same episode, we're also getting Cobb Vanth speeder for $30. I always liked the design of this one from the show, and Cobb Vanth seems to be one of those minifigures we've been sorely missing, especially since we got a version of him in the video game. And speaking of the Mandalorian, even though we've gotten 2 buildable Grogus in the past, there's going to be one new one in January for only $20. And at that price point, I'd expect something similar and cartoony like we got from the Harry Potter line, which come with some nice accessories as well. And speaking of buildable characters, this smaller scale of buildable droids is going to continue with a buildable BB-8 for $90 with 569 pieces. The previous buildable BB-8 came out in 2017 and was one of my favorite sets, so I'm excited to see this one back. Next, after this year's $45 battle pack, they're returning to $20 battle packs with one based off the Siege of Mandalore. This pivotal moment from the Clone Wars reminds me of the recent 332nd battle pack that we got, and I wonder if we may end up with something similar to this. The Star Wars mech line will be back as well, this time with a Shocktrooper Mech for $15. I'm guessing the build would be similar to the Stormtrooper Mech, but with some more of those red markings. Next, the Midi-scale Starship Collection will also be back with 2 new sets. And just like there's a UCS Falcon and a Midi-scale Falcon, we're going to be getting a Midi-scale Venator and AT-AT. At $80 with 643 pieces, I think the Venator is a pretty obvious choice. At $60, I think the AT-AT is also a no-brainer, though not quite a starship. Next, we also know about the 2026 LEGO Marvel sets, and Ghost Rider is back. We last got Ghost Rider back in 2023 in this $35 mech set. But this new Ghost Rider bike is taking their $10 slot, which will be really great. Next, LEGO Marvel seems to love their Venomized characters, and they're bringing a brand new one this year with Wolverine. Venomized Wolverine will come in a $20 set with a Spider-Man car, continuing Marvel's line of unnecessary vehicles. And speaking of unnecessary gear, we're getting another Marvel mech for $15, this time featuring Miles Morales. And while we did get a Miles Morales mech back in 2021, I'm curious to see which version of Miles we'll get, as we did finally get a Spider-Verse version in this recent set. And as the recent Marvel mechs have come with 2 minifigures, I'm curious to see who Miles will face off against. Speaking of mechs, we're also getting a Spider-Man and Doc Ock mech for $30, which sounds very similar to this version that we got in 2021. And hopefully this new one comes with at least one exclusive figure. Next, while this year's season of Spidey and His Amazing Friends brought us dino versions of the characters, this one takes us on the 7 seas. Yep, that's right, we're going to be getting the Team Spidey pirate ship for $50 from the 4+ line. And I hope we get the crow's nest and the cannon at the front that fires webs. But of course, what I hope we get most are 3 figures for these fun pirate editions of our heroes. And there's even a pirate Green Goblin. Plus, other characters visit the ship, including the Thing and Jeff the Land Shark. Next, for $35, we've got Spidey underwater vehicles, and I'm wondering if it could be these ones inspired by a crab, turtle, and dolphin. It would also be cool to get these scuba suits and newer villains like Hydro Man. Next, we'll also be getting a $10 set with Spidey on his motorcycle, which reminds me of this one featuring Captain America, which is funny because he also shows up this season. And Spidey will face off against Rhino, and I think these sound pretty fun. Next, in LEGO Ideas news, we got the reveal of the Italian Riviera with 3,215 pieces, retailing for $300 on August 7th. The build is such a lovely scene with really great color usage and excellent composition, as it recreates this small Ligurian village. image. And I love how there's story and detail packed into every corner. But there's even more packed inside. There's a gelato shop, the fish market, and a store, which sells the light blue air tanks that we'll need to complete our light blue astronaut. Upstairs, there's a small apartment that spans the two buildings, and the other building has an apartment with some exclusive printed foods. The set comes with 10 minifigures to fill out the scene, with a couple that have some new exclusive torsos and legs. If you pick up the set when it first comes out, you'll get this free Italian market van, which has a classic design with lots of accessories and a lemon tree. And they'll also have an exclusive notebook insiders rewards for 1,750 points. While $300 is certainly not cheap, there's definitely a lot packed into this amazing dense build, and I'm excited to see it when it comes out. Next up, thanks to LEGO the Ambassador Network, I was sent the full August wave of Mario sets, and we've got to talk about them. First up, we've got the $100 Prince Florian and Castle Bowser, which was one of my favorites. This set actually has more pieces than the Mario and Yoshi set that LEGO sent me. I have loved all the 18+ sets, especially this one with its functionality, but I think this new Super Mario Wonder set really wowed me. The sculpted face stands out right away, but as you rotate the build around, you can see this spherical build really comes together nicely. And atop its head is the castle itself with another Bowser design. But the magic comes when you lift it off the stand, which reveals its exhaust. And by placing the entire castle down on a flat surface, the interior is revealed. And this top part of the castle can actually be removed to fire the fireball. And there's even a cell to capture Prince Florian. And there's plenty of hidden tiles for the interactive characters along the way. And in addition to Prince Florian, you get a pink Yoshi, Wonder Bowser Jr., and a fiery piranha. The $30 party at Toad's house features a nice build for the house, which has 2 floors of interior detail. Plus, there's some side builds with a record player and a party for the 2 Toads. At $15, Captain Toad's Camp gives us our first Captain Toad and a bunch of accessories to interact with. And there's also a bit of a level where you can drop the Goomba on the bridge and discover the hidden diamonds. I also had a ton of fun with the new Mario Kart sets. The $100 Bowser's Castle is a pretty good size with lots of details to add ambiance. There's a very cool mechanism which drops the thwomp, and one to launch the lava bubble. And both walls can be knocked down to create alternate paths. And there's another obstacle. This set comes with 2 carts with Bowser on the standard ATV with its nice chunky design, and the Mach 8 for Yoshi, which has a great color scheme. I was super hyped for the $50 Wario and King Boo, and it definitely didn't disappoint. Wario's Badwagon looks amazing with the gold wheels and of course the Wario glider. Plus, Wario includes a ton of new pieces to make him look like the interactive characters. And King Boo is on the teddy buggy, which is pretty adorable. Next, for $50, we've got the Piranha Plant Power-Up Pursuit, which has this awesome lunging function as you roll it along. And I love how both carts can use it. Koopa Troopa comes in the Tanuki cart, which has that fun Jeep-like design. And Toadette's Cat Cruiser is absolutely perfect with an opening trunk for storage. The $20 Shy Guy in P-Wing is just such a sleek car, with a cool build for the plane glider, which attaches at the back. And there's a cool function for when you want to place Mario. And speaking of Mario, there's also the $55 new starter course, which comes with a lot of the interactive accessories, though the standard cart seems to be the same as the other set. My main takeaway from building all these Mario Kart sets is that maybe LEGO was right about not using minifigures, because all the builds for the cars were a lot of fun and wouldn't be nearly as cool if they were scaled down. Next, thanks to LEGO, I was also able to check out the $28 Black Dahlia set from Wednesday. The flower comes together nicely, though there's a lot of stickers. But my favorite part is the vase with the colored windows, as there's actually a locking mechanism where you have to remove the Black Dahlia to open it up and see what's inside. Inside, we've got the mini conservatory with all sorts of plants overgrown out of the furniture, and you can even remove the mini builds for a bigger scene. And with a better look at the plants, you can see the exclusive printed tile. In the set, we have a new Wednesday Addams with the platform boots, plus Professor Marilyn Thornhill, and this one's perfect for Halloween. So there you have it, another awesome week in LEGO news. It's wild to think that it's only July and we're already getting rumors for next year. Plus, this August is just a treasure trove of new releases, and I can't wait to bring you even more reviews soon. And I've got to decide if the Italian Riviera is going to be on my day one list. Be sure to leave this video a thumbs up down below if you're as excited as me, and don't forget to subscribe because I'll be back next week with even more LEGO news. And let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you think about all the stories? And which one are you most excited about? And now we've got this week's giveaway winner. Congratulations! And be sure to email me from the About page on my channel so we can coordinate about the prize. And if you want to enter this week's round, just leave me a comment about this week's news. You must be a subscriber to win. And definitely turn on notifications to find out when my next video is posted, because I'll be announcing the winners at the end of some of the videos. That's all the time we've got for today. Thanks, and have a good one!